I slept with my girlfriend's mom 2 years ago. I can't tell her because I know she'll dump me and it'll probably end her parents' marriage. So let me first just say, I'm not the one in the wrong for this, but I have to say it somewhere. It's eating me alive. 2 years ago when I was 19, I met this woman while I was working as a personal trainer. She was in her 40s and looked like a 25-year-old. She took an interest in me and invited me out a number of times, and we had this time a few times. After one of our meetups, she said it was wrong for someone of her age to be with me because I was too young and changed gyms. My girlfriend and I have been together for just under a year. She's amazing and I love her so much. 2 months ago I met her family for the first time and it was a shock. Like, she took me to the house where I'd hooked up with a woman and I felt like I was being pranked. Before I see her mom, it hits me. I have a type and they both fit that type, so it makes sense. I've been hooking up with a single mom and I'm now with her daughter. Then her mom and dad pop out and we both almost S it ourselves. I meet her parents. They've been married for 20 years. I realize I've been a married woman's boy toy. I feel incredibly ashamed. Later that week her mom finds my number and tells me that I can never speak of what happened. She says that my girlfriend will hate me forever because I'll be the one who broke up her parents. So now I'm stuck keeping this secret. She invited me to spend Thanksgiving in with her family, and since my family is 1,000 miles away and I already told her I don't plan on going home, I don't really have an excuse to not go. So now I'm going to have to sit there at a table and enjoy Thanksgiving dinner with the woman I had an affair with, her husband, and her daughter whom I am now in love with. I'm effed. Story 2, my girlfriend slept with her celebrity crush. I'm still in shock. I'm heartbroken. My GF and I have been dating for 4 years. We live together. During that time she has been obsessed with a very minor YouTube musician. He has a few videos with a couple million views, and a small following. During our entire relationship she has always claimed that he was her exception. I always assumed it was a joke. I'd fire right back with my celebrity crush. Well, he went on tour and played in the city near us at a small venue. She went with a coworker to see him. After the concert she didn't come home that night or answer my texts. I assumed she slept over the coworkers since she lives closer to the venue. She came home the next morning and didn't talk about the concert much. I asked questions and got vague answers, which was odd. I assumed she was tired. Later that day she broke the news to me. It was bizarre. She said it with a smile on her face as though I was going to be happy and excited for her. I am heartbroken. I was yelling. We were both crying. She said she didn't know how I'd react, but she didn't think it would be this extreme. She said I always knew he was her exception. I didn't think she was serious. I am currently staying in a motel and I don't know what to do. I love her so much, but I cannot think about her without thinking about what she did. She has tainted my memory of her. I cannot help but think that clearly she does not love me unconditionally like she claims she does, because this is not love. Clearly I am not the one she is obsessing over, even though she is the one who I have always obsessed over. If I am not enough for her, then I don't know if I ever will be. And it clearly seems as though I am not enough for her. I am lost. I am hurt. I am alone. Edit, just wanted to thank everybody so much for the support. This blew up like I never imagined, and the support that flew in was unbelievable. I'm hurt and still heartbroken. I don't know if anything will heal this. But I was never expecting this amount of support. Thank you to everybody. Redditor's reaction. Story 3 after. Redditor 1, this is also such a thin definition of celebrity. I feel like your GF picked someone she could actually potentially and did sleep with, when most people's hall pass is, like, Ryan Gosling or Megan Fox. Sorry, dude. Redditor follow-up, my thoughts as well. If your exception hall pass is actually attainable, the whole thing goes from a hypothetical to I would choose this person over you to the extent that I am willing to risk our relationship for just one night with this person. Redditor 2, sorry to be so bold, but by her way of telling you that she cheated and her reaction, she doesn't seem to be the brightest. Break up, you deserve better. She would do it again for sure. Redditor follow-up, acting like a groupie to a minor YouTube personality when in a relationship is quite telling. Redditor 3, she said she didn't know how I'd react, but she didn't think it would be this extreme. She could have phoned you before it happened. Make sure it was okay if that's what you're into. Even told you when she got it. She knew she did wrong, that's why she kept silent, till the guilt really kicked in. It's not about being honest with you, it's about relieving her own guilt. Does what she wants, asks for forgiveness after. Complete lack of empathy. You really want to be with someone like that? You're in love with the idea of her, the one you've created in your head, not the real her. If anything, she's not good enough for you. Redditor follow-up, you're in love with the idea of her, the one you've created in your head, not the real her. This line, I needed it. Story 3, the most sexually attractive woman I've ever met in my life asked me to spend the night, and I've realized I've been fostering an inappropriate relationship outside of my marriage. I've been working with this woman who just recently immigrated from Brazil, and she is quite literally the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. We've been friendly, but there's always been a level of attraction present that I'm just realizing was sexual. I wanted her and she wanted me, and neither of us knew it, could understand that that's what it was. Well, she may have, I didn't. Every Friday my office goes out for beers and she tagged along for the first time. She stuck next to me the entire night, and I just couldn't help but notice how amazing she looks. I have never been sexually attracted to a woman before like I am her. We stayed late and both had a few more drinks than we should have. We talked and finally she asked me if I would come home and spend the night with her. Then I finally understood why I've been so interested in her. I have a wife at home. I have 2 daughters. I have a family and responsibilities to all of them, and I'm here chopping it up with a woman who might be a fun, sexy escape but is nothing compared to the mother of my children and life partner. I had been letting this friendship grow. Letting this pure animalistic lust grow in the both of us. I entertained the idea, maybe if we just do it once, no one has to know and more. In that moment I told her she was very nice, but I have a partner who I can't betray. I called an Uber and went home and slept it off. Redditor's reactions. Redditor 1, there's always been a level of tension present that I'm just realizing was sexual. Bro, how did you manage to have 2 kids? Redditor follow-up, he stuck it by mistake while he was doing his yoga, alright. Happens all the time. Redditor 2, so you weren't sexually tense but you let pure animalistic lust grow. I'm confused. Redditor follow-up, I read it more so as them saying they weren't self-aware of their actions, as in they were on autopilot feeding themselves those lines without considering that it may consequentially develop into something that could drastically impact their life. I guess I can mildly relate to that moment of waking up from a haze and you really just weren't thinking straight. Maybe not in this manner, but others. Redditor 3, during my first marriage we had a housekeeper, Christiana, who used to also clean my ex-Mill's house, come by on Fridays to clean our house. My ex and I would alternate working from home on Fridays. Incidentally, she was from Brazil and was one of the most beautiful women that I've ever met. Christiana always looked great, tight jeans, beautiful hair and full makeup. She was always very friendly and we had a great rapport. On one of the Fridays when it was my turn to work from home, my ex was also there. Christiana showed up as always, cleaned the house and left. I did notice that she was kind of quiet but didn't think too much of it. Later that day my ex asked me if she noticed anything different about Christiana. I mentioned that she seemed a lot less talkative, but other than that, no. She then said, really? Whenever Christiana is here she shows up in sweats, no makeup and her hair pulled back. So it turns out that she was only dressing up on the days that I was supposed to be the only one at home. Needless to say, my ex stopped having her clean the house. I thought that it was because she was jealous, which was partially true. My ex came out as a lesbian a few years later and I am now convinced that she was jealous of me and not Christiana. Redditor 4, also babe, I came home to you even though the most beautiful woman I've ever seen, not you BTW. You're not that great looking, invited me for a night of pure animal lust, which I just realized is S-time-ul attraction, not like the boring chore S-time is with you, but I said no. Maybe. Now let's kiss. Redditor follow up, this seems like the type of guy that isn't that attracted to my wife as I used to be because she got some stretch marks having 2 of his kids. This dude screams that type of energy.